voice here, man. Just gonna go ahead and crack it off here. All right, well, this is a Living the Dream podcast. I'm Sam.
I'm Josiah.
I'm Tegan.
Today we're gonna talk about those filthy foreigners across the pond.
Y'all did that at the same time.
I know it was quite synchronized. We're gonna talk about those fellas and how they own some of our commercial ag land.
Owned, still own.
Owned still, well, yeah, no, I guess it is. Yeah, they still own.
They're taking our jobs. They're taking all of our jobs.
Okay. Well, hey.
Does that help? Does that help?
I got stuff.
You got some?
Yeah,
hey, I was just trying to help.
Hey, I got it. I got stuff on
just
the
so everybody knows,
monitor.
we are jumping into this so that way we can start a Facebook thread. And if anybody has any information on foreign ownership of land, such as whether it be the devil's lettuce farmers or the ones that don't live in this country but own the land.
So are you talking about so are you saying that there's as far as the commercial ag land, you're talking about the chiva? Is that what you're
Coming in?
Weed.
Oh, is it chiva?
Yeah.
It's a 80s thing.
Nobody knows.
Yeah. Trouble loves. So the foreign ownership of commercial ag land.
Land.
Ag.
Land.
Ag
U.S.
stands for
US.
agriculture.
Yes, because it stands for agricultural.
Yeah.
So over 3.2 million acres of agricultural land are owned by foreign investors. So okay.
Ag.
So everybody gets their panties in a twist about this situation. And
Yeah, I'm upset.
Why are you upset, John?
I am physically, emotionally, incomprehensibly, brainly upset.
This is going to be a very wordy.
This is going to be a
episode,
wordy
isn't
one. I had my Subway sandwich. I have down 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey,
Bullshit.
and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Bullshit.
Bring back American jobs.
So it's just, so I don't know. I guess it's one of those things that I don't see it as that big of a deal, and maybe that's just because I'm unresearched and
We're all unresearched.
unknowledgeable on
We're
the
going to
topic.
search this up, and we're going to learn as we go on this podcast because we were super unprepared. But that's okay, because you know what we are? We're professionals at being unprepared.
That's right.
If you want to be good, got to be good at something.
Yeah, we're professionally. Yeah, we're professionally unprepared. Agricultural Foreign Investment Disclosure Act.
Whoa,
we're getting into fancy stuff here.
USTA and AFIDA?
Yeah, USTA. That's the USDA, sir. Okay, yeah. See, look, here you go. American Farm Bureau Federation statistics here. This is 2021. U.S.-owned ag land is 96.9%. Okay, so everybody's getting their panties in a twist because they're like, "Oh my God, the foreigners own so much land," and it's like
We should check where some of the parts from John Deere are made.
Yeah, well,
Pretty much anything.
just anything's made outside of the freaking country. It's like it's assembled in the USA. It's not, hardly anything's made in the USA. Which I'm sure that the union guys will get on here and be like, "Well, if we had more unions in there, then by God, we'd make more stuff in America."
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of things that are made in the U.S.
Let's touch on that topic real fast.
Oh, shit.
Since this is season 2, episode 1. Right?
Yes.
So welcome everybody to season 2, episode 1 of Living the Dream podcast. We are so glad that you could be here today to join us, and we're definitely knowing that you're listening to us on your long car ride to your job, and we want you to know that while you're listening to this, we want you to be able to have a great time while you're doing it. So we're going to touch on a topic that we talked about last season, and that's going to be union versus non-union. We released a Facebook post, and we tried to reach out to some of you, and some of you are freaking dumb. And also I want to say to I can't list them off, but some people, and specifically, we personally messaged you, and you're the reason people don't like unions.
Just look it up, man.
No.
Just look it up.
Yeah, just look it up. Just Google it. Just Google it. That's all you do is Google it. Well, I did Google it.
If anybody's listening, we asked this man to provide us some factual information and cite his sources.
There you go.
Okay, cite his sources. That was all we were asking.
Yeah,
The answer we got was, oh, well, you should look it up. Can you not look it up? You got Google.
No, hold on.
You got Google.
It turned into even more of the. It turned into the typical, and I'm going to get political on this one. It turned into the typical Democratic debate, to where as soon as you start calling them on facts, well, that was a wonderful sound. It turned into the typical Democratic debate where it was one of those deals to where, well, if you won't listen to what I have to say and you won't agree with what I agree with, then I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right, bye.
Yeah. Because that's how that conversation went, and it went from an adult conversation to talking to a 2-year-old in 2.5 sentences.
He's not wrong.
Did you go through and read?
I did.
Did you read that? I didn't even get all the way through it. I was like, I'm just gonna let Sam handle it. I was like, this is so
But
dumb.
see, the best part is I've got another message queued up, and I haven't sent it because I know I can goad the son of a bitch back into coming back to the conversation.
Yeah, and it was frustrating because
and goodbye.
Yeah, it was frustrating because every time he would send that message, he would send this. Dude, he would send a freaking 5-paragraph essay of why.
Bullshit. It wasn't an essay. It was bullshit.
Just bullshit. It was just regurgitating words over and over and over again. And it was like, oh, come on, dude. So
yeah, it was entertaining because I got to the point where I was like, at this point, I'm just going to see how long I can drag this motherfucker along.
I mean,
because I was just like, wow. But again, that's a prime example of why you can't have a conversation with
someone from the union.
You can go.
Well, it goes to show, like having your dad on. You know, he was like, "Hey, I'm pro-union, but here's the benefits of it, and this and that." But he also acknowledged, "Hey, here's some of the idiocracies, and here's some of the bullshit that happens whenever you have to do that." And
boy, that pissed some people off too, because they were like
fired up.
He, if he was really pro-union, he'd never talk shit about the union and stuff like that. No, I think he's a realist about the union. He said that yes, the union benefited him throughout his career, and some people it's good for him, and some people it's not. And that was that. I feel like that's an intelligible conversation. That's an intelligible way to end that discussion.
And I think to roll that off of, and to finish all of that, and we're going to get past all of that shit that we went through. So
I'm sure it'll come back.
Well, it'll come back, but are you pro-union? After the 2 episodes that we had, and seeing all the discussion on who actually brought information to the table and was actually able to describe to you unions and non-unions.
No.
What are you?
Never. Ever.
What are you?
Well, according to the individual that I had the conversation with, motherfucker, I am a 14-beer. How about that? Right to work. Sorry. I did research on that, too.
You just But where's the cricket button? Where's the cricket button?
Well, insert crickets.
Insert crickets.
But yeah, no, it was that's literally that was the crap. He was calling me he's like, you're obviously 14. Oh God, he's dying. Oh no. Oh God, you okay, man? You gonna make it?
I don't know.
Here, rub some whiskey in it. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
But anyhow, yeah. So I'm a 14 beer. So are you? Are you 14B or are you union strong?
Actually, I want you guys to know that I am 100% for unions. If we didn't have unions, we wouldn't have America. Unions are what built America today. I'm not going to allow you to speak because that's what I do the best, is not allowing you to speak, okay? Unions are the best things. You're a fucking scab.
That's right.
I hate you.
Yep.
You're the scum of the earth.
Just go ahead and rip me off then.
Why would you ever try to work and provide for your family in a different way than me?
Yeah, I know.
You should do what I do because I do it best.
Everybody should be the same.
America! Here. Oh, yeah, sorry, we need those.
Yeah, I'm gonna put those on there. So I can no longer be.
You can't be offended.
I can no longer be offended.
Can't be offended. Well, wait, I thought it worked the other way.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry.
I put them on, and then no one else can be offended by what I say.
I just want to wear them because they're cool products.
They're a little dirty and scratched up now because I've been wearing them to.
What was that?
Roly-poly. It was a roly-poly since we're in the garage. We have spiders and roly-polies and other
Agriculture?
arachnids. Other agriculture? Yeah.
Other
We've got a
agriculture.
cow.
Yeah,
Hey, speaking of, did you see the house up the road is for sale?
Yeah.
wait, what?
On the corner.
It says for sale by owner.
For
That
sale
is-
by owner.
No. I wish. No.
Okay, what's for sale then?
The shit that sits behind the sign. You fucking dumbass.
I was like, we were driving by and I was like, that and all the land behind it.
Yes. No, you kidding me? I'd be out there stripping on the corner trying to buy that house.
I know, as we were driving by, I was like, oh, look at that.
You kidding me? I wouldn't have driven all the way to freaking Oshaleta to look at property that was possibly up for sale because they were delinquent on taxes.
Oh, shitty later.
Oh, shitty later.
Hey, what? Hey, whatever. Hey, I'll tell you what. It was nice out there. It was quiet, and it was.
You know,
it was
I
great.
heard that Oshaleta is nice out there, and it's really quiet out there.
It's a long ways away from everything.
It's also a long ways away from everything.
Thank you, union worker, for just regurgitating what everybody else says.
That's what.
Bam, bam! Shots fired.
Well, so now that
anyhow,
we're done with
now
that, we're
we've
gonna.
summed that one up.
Yeah.
We're going to circle back around.
So we're going to talk about back into. I brought up some. I kind of had this little deal. Write me some things that we can kind of give some topics and some structure to the podcast. So anybody listening,
Structure?
I know.
What are we doing?
I know. We have structure and liquor in the same area right now, and it's. I think this is kind of.
could be
We've started to get our system figured out, and everybody listening, thank you. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook. Subscribe to our Patreon. Go to our YouTube channel. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. You know, shameless plug. We appreciate it. Thank everybody for listening right now. That's awesome. Let's keep on rolling. We're going to dive into it. So, what we're talking about with land ownership right now. So, we're going to dive into displacement of local communities, right? So,
Displacement of local communities?
yeah, so displacement of local communities. So foreign land ownership can lead to displacement of local communities as their land is often taken over for large-scale agriculture or infrastructure projects. And that's, I will say, since we're talking on the topic of land, that is not just. I'm not trying to group, since we're talking about foreign, it is a problem with foreign landowners. However, that's an issue regardless.
Yeah, that's here in America.
The same thing happens with like
Jobs.
well, also, I was listening to a podcast talk about Britain. I'm sure we have the same thing, or I say Britain, with our head cuts. The people over in the UK, across the pond, they have a thing. I forgot what it was called. Someone, if you're listening or you're watching or whatever, type it down in the comments.
Yeah, drop it.
But so what happens is the infrastructure of the UK, whenever they need to build a highway, I'll just use a highway just for example.
Okay.
Whenever they need to build a highway, and let's say your house sits right in the middle of the highway, the UK can come in. Even if you've paid everything, you're up to date, you're all good, you don't have to worry about anything. And I think they can do the same thing in America.
Yes, they can. It's called eminent domain.
Eminent domain, it's something, they call it something different in the UK, but it's the same thing.
I'm gonna come rope your shit, Bobby.
However, the nice thing but they don't do this, oh my bad, they don't do this in the UK. So the US government over here will claim eminent domain, right? And they will pay you.
Yes.
Right? They will pay you and give you market value. They'll give you
pay
over market
yeah, I was
value.
gonna say usually they'll pay you market value.
Because I had a friend that they were building the turnpike, and his parents' house was where they were building the ramp for the turnpike.
Right.
And they claimed the eminent domain, but I mean they're a bunch of rednecks, so they got a huge freaking check, and they were like, "Shit, we'll move down the river."
right.
But
See if I can spell that on the.
But that's another big thing is if they need to build a big structural piece of the infrastructure, then they can claim something like that, and it's almost like you don't own anything. People don't realize you don't own necessarily anything because legally they have the power to take everything away from you.
So we had this conversation. The wife and I had this discussion about this, and I'm going to look it up here in a minute. Now that I've figured out how to spell eminent domain.
Because also to understand, like them having the ability to take everything from you, you have to understand that what's the baseline of every single society?
Free will.
Violence. Who can be more violent than the other person, and then you can have what you want, right? So if the government comes in and tries to claim eminent domain on your house, if you can be more, which it's not possible, but if you can be more violent than the government, regardless of what government body,
Okay.
if you can be more violent than them in the sense of protecting your land and you're saying, hey, I want to stay here, you don't get to come here and just rape, pillage, and steal and kill and destroy.
See, I find it really funny that you can't find a whole lot of information as to what exactly eminent domain is. It's kind of like let's see.
So the basic one would be
Eminent domain is the power of the government to take private property and put it to public use following the payment of just compensation.
that's what the U.S. does.
Right. This
So
is a
at
practice
least
that occurs in the United States and in many different countries under different names. There you go. So it may not seem fair to the owners of the property, but eminent domain lawsuits, especially when the owner feels they are not justly compensated, are fairly common. Okay.
Yeah, but what does the big machine keep doing? It just keeps right on a trucking.
Yeah, well, so the wife and I were talking about this, that like say you buy a piece of land and there's a large part of it is used for infrastructure, say power lines and stuff like that.
Right.
I wonder if there's any kind of compensation for, like, you've got these giant
I know there is.
on your
I know there is in the U.S.
There is, like, if they have to make an easement road to the power line, they buy that land they make the road on.
Okay, but like if you were to buy a piece of property that already had the towers and stuff on there in the road, then you get jack shit.
Unless they need to build more.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
I'm
as
not
far as
sure,
I understand.
I'm not sure about that. I have also heard that some farmers, like when they have massive tracts and stuff of their farmland, if they have power lines that are running through there, they get a check every month, every year, whatever it is. I'm not a farmer yet.
Well, I know a guy we can call to
I was
ask.
going to say, we got somebody we can call and ask. He runs cows.
Yeah.
So we could
Yeah,
probably.
but he probably didn't have signal right now because didn't we talk to him as he was burying your tractor a little bit ago? Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, Jaden, if you're listening to this, you freaking better clean that shit.
You're gonna have to help him dig it out.
Good Lord. Yeah, we're going to have to we'll post the pictures on Facebook, but we'll have to get a mini excavator out there to pull my tractor out of the mud.
Yeah.
More or less pick it up,
The
shove
bucket-
them underneath, and pull it out.
The bucket's down in the ground right now. For anybody listening, the bucket's down in the ground holding the front end out of the mud and water so it doesn't flood.
Barely.
Barely. Hey, as long as that's the important part with machinery when it gets buried. As long as it stays running and the air filter is above water, you
You're good.
had some experience with skid steers and some other stuff. So that all works. But so I guess displacement of local communities. So that's kind of eminent domain is kind of an example of one,
Right.
of people being able to just come in. And I mean, if it's and when you want to group it in together, we talk foreign investors. They have like eminent domain. If it's if the investors are coming in with a large amount of money, and we're talking tons of money, right? And they have the ability to say, hey, this is part of our infrastructure. We're trying to build it and help the U.S. The government will then use eminent domain, and in turn, it's technically not them using it; it's the government. But then they still get what they want.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you, but my stepdad just sent me this. It says, never fight until you have to. So we're talking about being more aggressive.
Oh.
It says never fight until you have to. But when it's time to fight like you're the third monkey on the ramp to Noah's Ark. And brother, it's starting to rain. That's good stuff. Well, and so you get the foreign investors and stuff that come in there, and then of course that's also I guess that's the big stick aspect, because they can come in there and it could be 3 times.
Yeah, I seen
Did you see that ad?
Yeah.
Let it play. Watch.
Oh, no, it's different.
Oh, it's different. Can you go back one ad?
I have no idea. No.
Oh
It'll probably,
man, it was showing
The top 5 countries.
top 5 countries that have invested in America's debt.
Oh, well, that's
And all the numbers were in billions.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're at what? How many trillion?
Too many.
I don't even want to look up the number. It's like
No.
I think it's like 32, 35 trillion.
You can sit there and watch it turn.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah. You know, the only time the debt clock ever goes down is when everybody pays their taxes.
Does it actually go down though?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll actually go down.
This is another one of those fancy words, deficit. I don't know how to spell that shit. We're gonna type it in here. Well, it looks like the old interweb's working a lot better now that we've got her directly wired and.
No, look up America debt clock.
So that's what I get for using big words.
American debt clock.
There it is. Real time.
U.S. national debt.
Wow. Holy fuck, $34 trillion.
What did I tell you?
Jesus Christ. So our U.S. tax revenue, what the hell? So our taxes are really not doing a damn thing for it, because it's like, so we're $4 billion in tax revenue right now, and our $34 trillion is going up. Wait, no. Oh, wait a minute. 3, 6, 9. Oh. All right. 3, 6, 9. Oh, yeah. So we're like $4 billion.
Drink wine.
So we're like $4 billion on federal income tax, and then there's $34 trillion on the national debt. Womp womp
Womp womp.
Oh yeah, but no wait, but Joe Biden, the Democrat, the union man,
Sleepy Joe,
has lowered the deficit. Joe, he's said it many times. He's stopped it.
Yeah, Joe,
from growing.
Joe.
Anybody listening needs to go look up the words deficit. They need to look up what actually means and what happens when they say that they've actually lowered the deficit, because it doesn't mean that they've actually lowered the debt, okay? Right. It just means that they've lowered the actual amount of spending that is going on, because all they refer to of the deficit is the amount of money that they spend every year, which is always over budget regardless, because the money gets printed out of thin air.
Yes.
Same with fractional reserve banking. If anybody's listening to this, you definitely need to go look it up. Become financially responsible. Rice and bean diet, okay? Okay? Okay. Oh, here we go. All right, ready? Yeah. We're going for one.
All right, let's have it.
All right, Tegan, you're going to be the caller. I'll be Dave Ramsey, and then you can be the other guy that's on his. I don't remember his name. Okay.
I don't know. Right.
Okay. You gonna? Oh, we got a caller here today, everybody. I want to thank everybody. Tegan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Better than I should be, Tegan. Yep. Better than I should be.
Yeah.
Well, what are you calling today for? What can I help you with, brother?
Talking about the deficit, U.S. deficit.
It's everybody's fault. Everybody needs to quit spending. People, if they would eat rice and beans,
yes,
if they would eat just rice and beans, nothing else, everybody would get skinnier. Everybody's bodies would look better. They'd be healthier. They would feel better. Farmers would go up.
Yeah.
Farming would go up.
From what I've heard, is the Americans have the money.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tegan. All right, is first off, I need you to understand. You're wrong.
Right.
Okay?
Always.
You're wrong.
Always.
And I'm right. That's why you're calling me.
Always right.
That's why you're calling me.
Him. He knows everything.
And so that's why we're here today to provide you with this information. Okay. So how many cars do you have?
One, two.
Is it one or is it two, sir?
Two.
We've got to know the facts.
Two.
Okay. You've got two cars. What's the total debt that you have on those two cars?
0.
Well,
all right. Let's do a little more digging here. Do you own a house?
No.
Do you rent?
Yeah.
How much do you pay in rent?
Too much.
That is a problem. Can you give me a numerical amount? Give me a numerical amount.
1,800.
Oh, Jesus. Woo! Butter my biscuits and slap my grandma. That is way too much. I hate that. Way too much,
yeah. Beans and rice for you, sir. Beans and rice.
You don't happen to rent from Dave Ramsey Enterprises renting houses, do you?
Feels like.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is what you need to do. You should just save and invest for 50 to 60 years. And then you'll have enough money after you've worked your life away.
To buy a house?
To buy a house. I'm telling you. And look, a can of beans can't be more than 50 cents. Okay.
Bullshit.
Rice can't be more. I can cook minute rice in 99 seconds. Okay. You got to understand. It's all about speed. It's all about speed, making more money. Okay.
No, but did you hear Biden say that the Americans have money? They just don't want to spend it?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, man, I'd sure like to have money and just not want to spend it.
Yeah, me too. That'd be great.
That'd be great. Because I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of shit that I want to spend it on right now. As a matter of fact, I went to do a little reloading behind us last night, got everything set up, and realized there was a fucking component missing. I was like, wah, wah, wah. Didn't get to reload a damn thing.
Price of bean for a can of beans.
No, apparently this is just one bean in a can.
Yep.
Just one.
No, you got to read the sentence.
Live price of bean.
It's trading.
It's trading?
Yeah, you can trade beans.
Trading. You can trade beans? So they really are bean counters. Oh, God. 24-hour trading volume is 94 cents?
So an average can was $2.90. Well, I can tell you right now, Bush's is more than that because I like to go buy myself those rodeo beans, those cowboy beans.
Yeah.
I like the ones with the jalapenos in them.
That's why, because you got jalapenos in them.
Jalapenos?
Yeah, that's why it's so expensive.
No.
It's those Mexican peppers. Those nosy peppers.
That's why I'm growing my own. No, I'm telling you,
Peepers.
the Bush's baked beans, they don't taste as good, and they are way more expensive.
Have you ever exploded one of those cans before?
From leaving it in my truck and letting it explode in the heat?
Getting it too close to the fire to warm it up.
No, but actually,
Did you know
I have a Jaden story with that one. Me and him were working on a house in the country. We were doing plumbing. We were having to repipe it because, just in case everybody knows, shark bite pipe does not work with expansion. That was a couple years ago. I thought all PEX was the same before I became an actual smart person. So we're repiping this whole house, and there's no heat. It started snowing, and we got snowed in.
I remember that.
And all we had was 2 cans of beans, and I had a little campfire tin that would fold out to where you could put a little candle under it. Or the gelatin like burn fuel stuff.
Yeah.
And then we put the can of beans on there, and we cooked beans, and me and Jaden ate those, and we waited for the snowstorm to die down, and then we prayed and hauled ass in that 2-wheel drive Tahoe all the way up. It was over in Snake Creek out by Bixby. Just freaking going through. So cans of beans that was actually really good because we were starving.
I thought you were going to tell me that you blew up a can of beans.
But whenever you do blow one up, it's little balls of hot beans hitting you.
Yes. Yeah, it is lava. It is lava rockets. Is
Pretty
what it
much,
is.
yeah. Because the can explodes, you look up, and there's beans.
Yeah.
So let's take another one on this on land. So another big one is the exploitation of natural resources. Foreign landowners may exploit natural resources on the land without considering the long-term environmental consequences, leading to the
deforestation,
soil degradation, and water pollution.
Did you know we had resources here in America?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
We have
Wow.
we even have Earl here, but we can't dig it. We can't dig it and drill it.
Earl?
Yeah. We got Earl, natural gas.
Natter gas.
I say oil.
Apparently, we can't use any of that.
No, we can't use our own Earl.
We got to buy somebody else's.
We have to reduce the amount of stored oil barrels that we have from 55 million or whatever it was down to depleting it. We need to deplete it. We need to get rid of it because we have to buy from overseas.
I bet you if you
we need to deplete it. That way we don't have any more. That way gas goes up so much that you have to buy electric cars, which actually ends up costing more money because it takes a lot more to build one of them doodads.
Did you know in California they are now taxing people to drive on the road because the fuel tax has basically gone away? There's so many people driving EVs that they're taxing people for driving on the road. They're not getting the same amount of fuel tax money as they got before.
Well, yeah, because their freaking fuel tax was retarded. Mm-hmm. That's why gas is so expensive out on the West Coast. It's not because of the cost of fuel. It's because of the taxes placed upon said fuel.
Yeah. Which is dumb. Fuck taxes.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, another big one is food security concerns. So foreign land ownership can result in the production of crops for export rather than local consumption, potentially leading to food shortages and increasing prices for local populations.
Well, we had that issue. Didn't we have that issue come up during COVID when there was an issue with, I believe it was corn and stuff that because like the trading had stopped because of COVID and all that jazz, and like it was we were struggling because the price of corn was going up.
Well, that because they wouldn't
Toilet
allow
paper.
interstate.
Yes,
They wouldn't allow interstate trading because they were trying to. Was it national?
it was international.
International.
Well,
I remember trying to
is it
move.
international.
I remember trying to move some stuff, and they were like, "We can't travel to this state. We'll have to go around, and do like just a whole bunch of crap."
Well, that was a whole other deal because there were some states that would lock you down. Like if you got caught with the vid, then you couldn't leave the state until you were free of the vid, and that was some crazy shit.
Yeah, we had just graduated whenever all that stuff started kicking off.
A year after we
A
graduated.
year after we graduated was whenever.
Not even a year.
Yeah, because they started telling us that. I remember my
It
mother.
was that December.
My mother told me, she was like, "You have to stay in the house. You're not allowed to go see your friends." And I was like, pfft. So I hopped in my Chevrolet and
Went over to my house.
shagged ass over to Tegan's house and was like,
I'm gonna come over here and stay safe with you.
I was like, well, if I'm gonna
Shelter in
if
place.
it's gonna suck, I'm gonna suck eating mac and cheese with my best friend. So
That's right.
Yeah, it was 2019 in December was whenever stuff started coming out about it.
Yeah, it started getting squirrely and sideways.
yeah. Does anybody else feel like those 3-4 years of time just like
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of erased. It's like they're just kind of like they were there, they existed.
from a block?
Exactly. Exactly. But fuck, you know the stupid thing about all that shit is?
I don't, but I bet you're gonna tell me.
Exactly. I am. I still worked.
Yeah. so
Me
did we.
too.
It was
So-
great.
It was great.
I will say, I was
the
a service
best
plumber.
Drive to work ever.
I was a service plumber at that time. Dude, they used to keep track. They would have a rating of A, B, and C. They had trackers on all the vans, and they had a rating of A, B, and C. I got called at the office one time. They were like, "Hey, your driving went from an A to a C." They were like, "Is there anything like in specific? Like we're looking at aggressive acceleration, and like you're going
Oh,
like
so you're driving
you're
with
going like
C during the vid?
yeah, during COVID, I was driving with a track record of a letter C because I was hauling I was doing like 40 miles an hour through.
Residential.
For legal reasons, this is a joke. But
Wait,
I
hold
was
on.
going.
Here.
I was going.
Gotta put those on for safety.
Sorry.
There you go.
I was going faster than the posted speed limit.
But who wasn't though? Because there was no one on the road. That was
Everybody.
That was the most enjoyable.
Cops wouldn't even
commute.
pull me over.
No, it was the most enjoyable commute to work ever.
Cops wouldn't pull me over because I was a plumber.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was a service plumber, so I was nasty. And if they pulled me over, I'd be like, they'd be like, "Look, I need you to slow down." Yeah.
Just hand him the piece of paper.
I remember doing like 80 miles an hour down 61st, 71st, just hauling ass. And you know what? There was no cars on the road. I'd pass
Yeah.
like one car, and you know what? We'd both be like, because we'd both be doing 80.
Yeah. Like, what's up,
Dude,
brother?
5 o'clock traffic was like afternoon traffic.
Yeah, 5 o'clock traffic, you'd be like, "What's up, brother?
Yeah.
What's up, brother?"
And that was it.
I've seen 3 cars on my way home.
Exactly. Yeah. It was so great. I do miss that.
That was the one thing I miss.
Yeah. I wish that more people would go back to working remotely so that we could have that again.
And the
Yes.
nice part, when I was a service plumber during that, the nice part, customers left you the hell alone.
Yeah.
They didn't want to be around you.
No,
So
'cause they were afraid
you
you're
would
gonna
throw
get
your
'em.
mask on and you would go inside their house and they'd be like at the back end of they'd be like by the back porch. I had one lady stood at her, I had to go fix a leak in her bathroom. And I was like, "We're going to be in here all day." And she was like, "Okay, that's fine. Okay." And she walked out the back door. She stayed on our back porch all day long while we busted up concrete and fixed her leak.
I'd have been standing right over there next to you. That shit didn't bother me at all because we had.
I hate those customers.
So I
hate
can tell-
customers whenever you're freaking working on something and they're like,
What can I do to help you with?
I can do it better than you.
Do you really want to do it that way?
now there are some customers, they're like, "Hey, I wasn't to let you know, I'm not trying to tell you how to do it. I'm just interested." And you're like, "Oh,
Right.
well, hey, this is the way I do this. This is why." And they're like, "Oh, cool. Can I help?" And you're like, "Oh, cool." You know, like those customers are okay. I'm talking about the ones that are like,
Right in your ear.
You can smell their cologne,
Are
Yeah.
you done yet? When are you going to be done?
I've told them that.
taste their breath.
I've told customers that.
What?
Get
They
the
walk
fuck
out and
away.
they're like, "Hey, when are you going to be done?" And I'm like, who's the one? And they got what was called the asshole techs. tax at the end of it.
Yeah.
People don't realize that if you're actually nice to people that provide a service to you,
It's cheaper.
it's cheaper than what it would be, because I would mark up my parts 100% instead of doing 40% like we usually would, because if you were an asshole to me, I'd mark up, make the company a bunch of money, and I'd add a little bit more in there so I could make more.
Yep.
Well, and then there's also that I always, one of those things like, working on equipment and stuff. You got the leads and supervisors and stuff like that. They're like, "You about done?" Man, I can be done anytime you want me to be. You just let me know. Well, is it going to be fixed? No. But I can be done anytime you want me to be done.
The other
you
good
can
thing,
have it right now.
The other good thing, whenever a customer, I don't know about for your side, because you kind of manage a lot of equipment.
Hey, go grab a beer.
But I'll say the one of my favorite things to say is whenever you have somebody that is up in your butt and they're like, "Hey, after you're done with that, when you leave or before you leave, can you handle this for me? Like, will you take care of this one little thing? Like, let's just, for anybody out there that understands, like, let's say we fix a leak for somebody, like, oh, hey, my toilet like runs constantly. Do you think you could fix that for me while you're here? Oh yeah, not a big deal. It'll probably cost you $200 more. And they're like, oh, you can't just handle it?
No.
Sir, whenever you're at McDonald's and you buy yourself a McChicken meal and you get a McChicken, fries, and a drink, you don't purchase said meal and then go, hey, yo,
Since you're back there,
homie, while you're back there, you want to just throw in an extra large fry for me, and why don't you just upgrade my drink to a large Coke?
right?
That's not how it works.
But they think it is though. But I guess they don't ever really.
That's probably because they're used to being in a union. So
I mean, that's how it works with working on cars. They just want to add everything else on.
yeah,
Yep.
and I'll say
And pay the same.
and freaking, it's expensive. Like
Oh God, yeah.
Like to pay for fixing a vehicle is expensive, and it sucks because a lot of that money isn't going to guys like him that actually work on the cars. It goes to the shop, it goes to the overhead, it goes to a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And it also is becoming, cars are becoming so computerized
ridiculous
and insane to work on now, and it has increased within the past 10 years that now it is so difficult to work on them that you basically have to have a master's in electronics. And now I saw two guys that were working for a Mercedes dealership today.
Yeah.
And they were young guys, and it's just like,
You got a computer science degree to work on a damn car.
they look like freaking nerds.
Yeah.
But it's like, and they weren't even dirty, but it's like most of the time they're working on electronic stuff the entire time.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you have to have a $5,000 scanner to do anything on a car.
Which is really nice.
we know a guy, but he charges y'all.
Yeah, but he charges.
It ain't $5,000 either, but
$150 an hour for diagnosed.
That's right. It's $80 for him to plug it in.
You get 100, I'll get 50 for finding your lead.
And right back to that whole, not all the money's going to the guy doing the work. He's fucking scab.
I mean, like in cars, when you do the diag time,
Yeah.
customers.
You've seen cars? You've seen Lightning McQueen?
Oh wow! No, customers will fight you on the diag time.
Huh?
Like the time it takes to diagnose what's wrong with the vehicle. Like I worked at a shop where
They fight you?
like they don't want to pay it.
Like, there's no way it took you 9 hours to diagnose this problem.
Sir.
You had a rat chewed through your fucking wires, and I had to find it.
Under your back seat, under the carpet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, because it took what? It took three of us. There's a 1987 Chevrolet at the house. Couldn't get it to run, couldn't figure out what it was. It was priming. It's a dual tank for anybody that's listening. It has a dual tank. It's 1987 K1500. It's on the title it says it's a V10. For sale. I don't know if anybody can tell me why it's a V10. I'm trying to figure that out. However, so he's got this awesome little thing called a snap-on power probe.
Yes.
And anybody who doesn't know what that is, look it up.
That's not what the sales rep uses when you walk on the truck. It's not that power probe.
No.
It's a different power probe.
No, but
anyhow,
if anybody is a tech, I would, from using it and seeing him use it, all of the capabilities of that, I want to buy one just because I'm like, I'd rather just spend the money and use it once a year.
That power probe almost does everything a multimeter will. Like a basic handheld multimeter, it'll do the same and more.
And he's got the snap-on multimeter, which just doubles up the the ability.
Yeah.
But what had happened is I had this issue where it wouldn't start. It would crank. I had to crank, no start. Couldn't figure out. And so started testing wires, diag, and it took 4 hours. I mean, if you count 2 days worth of going through all the bull crap, it was probably 8-9 hours.
Right.
And on top of that, the last 2 hours was Jaden was on the phone reading off, because I couldn't find a paper on it, was reading off a wire diagram that he found and was like, and he was having to flip between pages to make it work. And he was reading that off while I was testing. And he was like, well, if that's not working, go here. And I was like, I already did that. And then he came over with his multimeter and was like, hey, let's back probe this. And we found out that literally everything on the truck was working except for the power, the signal delivery wire from the ECU to the injectors that told them to open up and fire off. Just that one wire, that went from ECU into engine bay. Yeah. And the only way we were able to figure that out that fast, and that's 9 hours. Yeah. But the only way to figure it out that fast was, and it was also, I was like he came in the last like hour and a half, 2 hours. So like, you've got a rookie trying to diagnose it. Yeah. But at the same time, that's how long it took me. That's no different than, the issue I had with the Denali. It was... Which one?
Which issue are we talking about?
The most recent one. It goes back to this whole that everything on the freaking vehicles nowadays is fucking electronic, and that seems to be the biggest hurdle that truck has.
So did they replace the entire DEF system?
No.
They do DEF heater?
No. It wasn't any of that. You know what it was?
What?
Wiring.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's a fucking plug.
On what?
The sensor. The fuel pressure sensor. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's why whenever exhaust brake was on, it would
no,
trigger
it just happened to. That was coincidence.
Oh, so really? Was it the plug was just broken?
The plug was broken.
Well, probably because whenever exhaust brake was on, it would hit regen and then it would up.
I don't know. But it was so intermittent that it just so happened that I was running with exhaust brake consistently, and it did it, and then it did it again when I wasn't doing it. And that was when I took it into the shop. So it's just one of those deals that it's sporadic. So I dropped the truck off on Tuesday. It was in the tech bay on Wednesday morning. I picked the truck up Friday. So I don't know that they worked on it the entire time, but one could only assume that there's probably 3 to 4 hours was invested in that truck a day.
Yeah.
And so, you got 8 hours that they're chasing a gremlin for this wiring issue, which, trust me, I've had 2 weeks.
Luckily, yours was just a plug. I figured out afterwards that when it was at my stepdaddy's place, my grandpa accidentally put the jumper cables on backwards. Oops. And that's what roasted the alternator and it burned the ECU. So, yeah, that'll do it. So, I'm still having an issue. It won't run on all 8, so I think I'm gonna have to replace the distributor cap and the deal inside. I can't remember what it's called.
Rotor bug.
Is it really that old? It's still got a distributor?
Yeah, 87.
It's a 1987.
Oh, it's 87. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why I thought it was 97.
The dumb thing is 87 was the first year for Chevy for TBI, auto body injection.
Yeah, which was.
It's horrible, but it's good at the same time.
It's better than carbureted.
Not really.
Yeah,
moderately. I've got a buddy. Well, so I've got a buddy at work that's got a Thunder Chicken that he's gone through and he's done his own. He's done programming and all of this stuff, and he's just one of those guys. He's the computer science engineer.
Is he the one that traded? He traded the gray. Was it a Fox body?
No.
Or the Thundercat, whichever one he had.
No, that guy. No, that guy. We're not going to talk about that guy.
Oh. Anyway, we're going to rip it. We're going to roll it back. Did you know that foreign land ownership may result in the erosion of traditional land use practices, cultural heritage of local communities?
Indians.
I did not.
Isn't that what happened when America moved in?
Pretty much.
We just shoved all the Indians into Oklahoma and Texas and said, forget about you.
So, I found out something interesting. An interesting fact.
You're Indian.
Well, yeah, I knew that, but anyhow. The end of the trail statue, right? Everybody's like, Oklahoma is famed for the end of the trail statue.
Yes.
It was not originally for here. It was originally intended for California, but it was a plaster model because they were going to put it on the coast because that was when they were pushing all of the Indians as far west as they possibly could, all the way to the ocean. So that end of the trail statue was actually supposed to be placed near the ocean, but because it was a plaster statue, it could not tolerate the weathering of the ocean and salt water and all of that stuff, so they moved it inland. Well, when they opened the Oklahoma Cowboy Museum, they petitioned California. They were like, hey, we really want to have that statue. Can we have it for this cowboy museum, blah, 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 and all that stuff. California was like, sure, man, you can have that as long as you give us one that's brass or bronze. So we paid for a bronze, or the Oklahoma Cowboy Museum paid for a bronze statue to replace the current plaster one that is in the Oklahoma Cowboy Museum, which is massive.
In Oklahoma City.
How long ago was that?
Yeesh. That I don't know. I don't have the details on that one, but it is a long, long time ago.
I say because I
don't know. Let's see if we can look it up.
Let's look at it.
I
figured it would have been because of the Trail of Tears.
Well, and that was what I thought too, and that seems to be what everybody alludes to is the reason that the end of the trail statue is here is because this is the end of the Trail of Tears, but it's not.
And I mean, trust me, I understand it's horrible. It's all bad. If anybody's listening that's Indian or you have Indian blood, I'm a Cherokee, so it's.
Yeah, he really looks like it.
I know, I'm a blonde hair, blue eyed Cherokee, but. And if I'm just going to say this right now, if you're listening, I have an Indian in me. When I was in high school, I got to go visit the Indian college up in Kansas. And even now, like whenever I meet people, like it's its own like.
It's its own culture, bro.
They're racist as fuck.
Yes, they are.
Let's just say that.
Well, fuck, wouldn't you be too? If like somebody tried to push you out of your damn land and like they just, they shoved you out of the way and took your shit.
I'm not disregarding that, but I'm like, hey, I have a Cherokee card. Like, I understand. Like, I'm trying to be a nice guy. And they're like, white man, you do not belong here. White man, get off land. White man. And I'm like, look, welcome to the 21st century. Like, I understand. I know it's bad. Like, I'm sorry.
Right. So is this one of those things that this could be a whole nother topic here, but is this one of those deals that you think that the black people should receive reparations as well? Because, we did kind of pick them up and bring them over here.
But it wasn't only just us. It was more or less more black people trading black people and white
I don't want to
people.
get into that.
You don't want to cross that
No, I
bridge?
just want to blame the Indian people for being racist to me.
Okay.
Because
Feather,
I tried to.
Feather, not dot. Keep
Feather Indian.
Not a push to start.
You motherfucking!
It's not a push to start Indian.
Thank you. Come again.
Now that's racist.
Push to start?
Yeah.
How is that?
You fucking racist white
There's
bastard.
a dot on the forehead.
You racist white bastard.
Not all
White
of
people
them.
fought for this land.
Not all of them. Not all of them have the dot. Anywho, wow, I'm really striking out at when this was here. Fraser created the first model at the end of the trail in 1984.
No, 1894, sir, you dyslexic fuck.
I even moved the TV closer and still can't fucking read it. I moved it into old man distance, and it's apparently still not old man close enough.
All right. Well, okay, so he built that cool exhibit on at the Panama Pacific International Exposition. That's fantastic. That's lovely. Indians are racist to white people as fuck.
And canceled.
Hey, if anybody would love to come on here and have a conversation, you have to be, the only requirements we have, though, is you have to be a full-blooded Indian, whatever tribe you're from, preferably Cherokee, someone that's
Indian.
and from around here. If you want to have an intelligible conversation, we'd love to have you on as a guest, or if you know someone that might be interested. And then at the same time, not only do you have to be 100% Indian, you have to have accomplished something for the tribe that is recognized by the tribe. You can't just be some geek off the street. Got to be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. So, hey, you should get that reference. That was before I was born.
Geek off the street.
Regulators!
Mount up. It doesn't mean that I listen to that type of music.
Oh, I did. I remember as a kid, I was in Walmart and it came on the radio, and I was like, "It was a clear black night, clear white moon." My dad was looking at me. My dad was looking at me. I was like, "Warren G was on the streets." He was like, "What the?" He goes, "How do you know that?" I was like, "Snoop D-O double G, Daddy." Cassette tape, Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Okay, so it was 1971 is when that transaction
1971
occurred.
when the transaction occurred.
Yes,
Bronze sculpture is located at Shelter Park, Waupun, Wisconsin.
Say it again.
No, I thought it was in Versailles.
Waupun.
Whatever.
Apparently, it's in
Anywho.
Waupun, not California.
Waupun.
Man, you get way off. You a couple
What in
states
the
off,
fuck?
bud.
What in
Whatever.
the
It's all the West Coast. They're all a bunch of liberal dumbasses out there, anyhow.
Whoa.
Union bastards.
It's not left versus right. I'm not just gonna keep my mouth
Up
shut.
versus down.
Versus down, flat versus round. The lack of transparency and accountability. Foreign land ownership deals are often negotiated behind closed doors with little input from local communities, leading to the lack of transparency and accountability in the process. And you know what that is? Get fucked because you don't have enough money to participate. Get fucked because you're the little guy. Welcome to being the little guy.
You gotta pay to play, folks.
Gotta pay to play.
Ain't nobody got the money to pay.
Get your money up, not your funny up. Subscribe to our Patreon so we can keep this podcast going.
We'll do a little ad break here
Ad
where
break,
I
sorry,
put
ad
that where I
break.
put the.
Would you
in
be
the
happy?
arms
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
angel. I feel
Right
like
after I
I feel like
finish
we
that?
I feel like we need to
Right after I
review.
get done screaming into the microphone, just be
Yeah,
like,
we'll just
$1 a day.
transition.
$1 a day.
We'll just transition into that.
You can help
Great. Anyhow.
Josiah.
So also since we're screaming into the microphones now,
Oh God, we're not.
foreign
We're not.
landowners often have more resources and influence than local communities, aka they've got more money than you, leading to unequal power dynamics that can disadvantage local populations in negotiations and decision-making processes, aka what's the baseline of all societies? Deal with it. Violence.
I don't understand where you're getting the baseline of society violence.
You should look it up.
I will look it up.
Look it up. Look up the baseline of society. Google's probably going to give you something bullshit like, oh, the friendliness and kindness of sucking each other off and making everybody happy.
It is Pride Month.
It is?
Yeah, sadly it is. We gotta give them
Yeah,
gays apparently a month. Even though
No,
they're fucking stupid.
So
it's
Memorial
not.
Day is one fucking weekend,
Yeah.
and we give a whole month.
No. It's straight Pride Month. You didn't know we're changing it. See,
Yeah, it
that's
is
what we
straight
do.
Pride Month.
Yeah, we're just gonna
This is
rotate
straight
this
Pride
around.
Month.
This is straight Pride Month.
And it's also Men's Health Month or something.
It
over
means
there.
mental health is actually what it is.
Yeah.
How do those things?
Memorial Day, Men's Mental
Well,
Health.
hey,
If you
listen,
take
now,
the
hold on.
2 gears in
Hold
my
on.
head right now, they're like,
Hold on. Okay, but listen. All right, so I'm gonna unlock them for you. You ready? So you
unlock
have
what?
Spit some facts, my
gears,
brother.
Your gears.
Okay,
So
okay.
we have men's mental health. Okay. So
Okay.
it turned into the LGBTQ. So men are being wiped out. As it goes, we're being emasculated, removed from the power side of things. Exactly. Yeah. And so through Pride Month, they are continuing to remove men from the equation. They're feminizing all of the men, so therefore women take over. Are you still locked up?
It hasn't freed yet. It's starting to get there.
Okay.
Sorry.
Here, let me hold a can.
Right there.
Best joke in TV show history was whenever Hank Hill pulled out a can of WD-40 to get the cap off of his other
Can of
WD-40.
Oh my God, that's great.
Have you not seen that?
I haven't seen that. I'm
Oh.
going to do my best.
That was created before we were born.
I'm going to try and find that and clip it and see if we can drop it in here.
Right over his head.
Hey, hold on. I found something when I was in here cleaning the shop earlier. Here, let me get it.
Boom! And he lost the receipt.
Definitely
it's yours.
did.
Yeah, you cannot return it. Anyhow,
Oh,
so
shoot.
Pride Month is emasculating men, therefore removing men, therefore men's mental health is no longer relevant.
So-
Therefore, the mental health month of June is no longer relevant,
Oh
and
my
it is
gosh.
now taken over by
I just
Pride
figured
Month.
it out. Okay, the gears are spinning now. Okay,
All
the
right,
gears are
let's see what you
spinning.
got. Let's see
Okay,
what you
look.
got.
So
Let's
what
see
I'm
the WD
understanding,
flow.
what I'm understanding, right?
Oh,
This is
shit.
what I'm-
Watch out,
this is
y'all.
what
He's
I'm
putting the glasses on.
understanding. Here we go. Okay.
You can't be offended right now.
Okay. Pride Month, right?
Yes, got it.
Okay, we're trying to turn it to straight Pride Month, right?
Yup.
But Pride Month, also Mental Health Month for men.
Yes.
It's demasculating men. Men are the one who get things, go out and conquer and purchase things.
Blue collar shit.
Men are not buying land. It is allowing foreign people to come in and purchase the land because we are getting rid of our men. This is the issue that we have. Everybody, if you're a fucking man, go out there and buy 5 acres and learn how to be a fucking farmer.
Yeah. Farming shit. 5 acres.
If you don't know how to go out and at least build you like a bow drill or
just like cut a tree down.
cut a tree down. But you need to do it the hard way. You need to take an axe out there.
Fuck you.
And you need to it's a valuable lesson.
Some of us men have bad shoulders.
We do.
Axes up
but
there. It's orange and it has multiple little axes on the end of it. And he goes vroom, vroom, vroom.
Oh, Lord. So that's just what I understood. So not only that, but there's also economic dependency. Foreign land ownership can create economic dependency on foreign investors as local communities may become reliant on jobs and income generated by foreign-owned projects.
It's just a fucking infomercial.
I was just trying to get it out as fast as I could so we could keep on rolling and continuing on with it, okay?
Viewer description as advised.
If the glasses are on, you can't.
You might want to go ahead and double check right now and make sure that you didn't put your phone on 2x speed.
Oh, right, yes. Him, possibly. You never know. You know, I think if somebody did do that while you were doing that shit, that it would just sound like a little chipmunk.
Do that again.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I love it. See, this is so what the fuck was I supposed to be looking up here? You said
Baseline of society.
Baseline of society, right?
Golly, stumbled over those fucking words.
A baseline of society refers to a fixed point of reference that serves as standard against which changes, progress, and performance are measured. It is a fundamental concept used in various fields, including configuration management, financial analysis, and community development. Okay, scroll down. That didn't give us anything that we needed.
Characteristics of baseline.
Look.
Find it.
Examples of
What
baseline.
is the baseline of any society?
All we need is
For a second.
love.
I get my eyes fucked up.
All we need is love.
Sometimes why?
Let's see. The basis of any society can be understood by the foundational. Oh shit, where'd it go?
It gone.
Baseline of any society be understood as the foundational elements that shape its functioning and development. These baseline elements typically include example 1, social structure that refers to how individuals. Oh shit, where'd it go? It disappeared. This app. Oh, hang on. I gotta wait for it to.
Stop typing.
I gotta wait for it to
Saying that
load.
the baseline here is society's needs and the needs of the environment.
Right. So if someone has needs, how the fuck do you obtain those needs? If you're hungry and all there is a lion,
You kill it.
are you gonna go eat bark off of the tree? No,
Some people will.
You're gonna go, yeah, and you know what they look like?
Not if you're
Not
Clinton.
like us.
Not if you're Clinton Anderson. If you're Clinton Anderson and you're fucking hungry, you're gonna go get that motherfucker. You're gonna go wrestle that lion with your bare
That's a
hand.
bad motherfucker right there.
Dude, I am telling you. Okay, so we're gonna get on to just a little beer thought on this one, and we're not gonna get over here and start sucking on Clinton Anderson's dick, maybe just a little bit, but
Just the tip.
just the tip. But so I resisted any of this guy.
You resisted.
I resisted for a long time.
What the fuck are you going with this? This is not what we're about. I do not support this at all.
So I resisted following any of the advice of Clinton Anderson for a long freaking time. For a couple of reasons. One, he seemed like a squeaky little weaselly Australian guy, and he was all like horsemanship, blah 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 blah. And I was like, fuck this guy. Well, so ever since he has retired, I feel like the real guy, like if I would have heard retired Clinton Anderson back at the beginning, I probably would be an entirely different horseman at this point, because I'm like, I respect the fuck out of this guy, because he's like, you know what? If you don't like what I'm doing, fuck you. You don't have to do it my way. This is the way I do it. So, and I kind of feel like that
He's sucking it right now.
I am.
You're going,
I kind of feel like there needs to be a little bit more of that shit in society, to where it's like, look, this is the way you can do that. If you
Fuck
don't
you
like,
and your feelings.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
and if you don't like the way I'm fucking doing something, you can either do it yourself, or get fucked.
Well, if men don't matter, neither do your feelings.
That's right. Facts don't give a fuck about your feelings. So
They're factual.
You have Google. Go look it up.
Just go Google it. Yeah.
All right, so we'll jump back on this right now. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through these all. I've got 8 examples for you right now. I'm going to go ahead.
You have 8?
So everybody's getting ready to listen to these. The baseline in any society can be understood as the fundamental elements that shape its functioning and development. These baseline elements typically include, number 1, social structure. This refers to how individuals and groups are organized within society, including social hierarchies, roles, norms, and relationships. Example 2, cultural values and beliefs. There are shared beliefs, customs, traditions, and practices that define the identity and behavior of the society's members. Number 3, political systems. This includes the governance structure, institutions, laws, and processes that regulate the society and determine how decisions are made and implemented.
There needs to be less government.
Yes, less government.
Should I slow down and get... you're listening to Audible. Economic systems. This refers to how resources are reproduced, distributed, and consumed within the society, including factors such as labor, capital, markets, and trade.
Period.
5, infrastructure.
Period.
This includes the physical
Full stop.
and organizational structures that support the functioning of society,
Period.
such as transportation,
Period.
comma, communication,
Comma.
energy,
Comma.
and healthcare systems.
Exclamation point.
That's good stuff.
Number 7,
Holy shit.
health and well-being. I told you before it was going to be 8. Health and well-being. This includes the availability and quality of healthcare services,
Question mark.
comma, question mark. Oh, sorry, Sam's falling asleep. As well as factors that contributed to the overall well-being of our member of society's life.
Period.
8.
Period.
Environment.
Period.
This refers to the natural and built environment in which society exists,
Period.
including factors such as a climate, natural resources, pollution, and sustainability.
Period.
Comma.
comma,
Comma,
Hey,
chameleon.
comma saves lives, okay? Let's eat, Grandma. These baseline elements are interconnected and influence each other, shaping the overall function and development of society. They provide the foundation upon which social, economic, political, and cultural activities
Period.
occur and evolve. Hell yeah. Did you just get that, what I said?
Fuck you, yeah. It took me a minute. I was like, what the fuck does Let's Eat Grandma have to do with this shit? And I was like, oh, wait. I was like, yeah, it depends on where you put that comma as to whether or not you eating grandma or you eating with grandma.
Yeah.
All right.
My favorite one, too, is whenever...
My sister would be proud of you right there.
My favorite time is whenever we're on the job site. It's about being quick and witty with it. Favorite time is whenever we're talking to somebody. I had a guy, my apprentice, Tegan knows who he is, was working with me, and he goes, "Yeah, this happens a lot." He was like, 9 times out of 10. I was like, "So this is the 1 time out of 10?" And he kind of was like, "What?" Huh? Yeah. Because everybody's used to saying 9 times out of 10 and not. I was like, "So this is the 1 out of 10?"
He was like,
He was like, "What?"
Brain has stopped functioning.
Yeah, it was his gears going.
The issues were having trouble. He had 2 brain cells and they were both fighting for third.
Well, all right. So I think we can probably.
Are you wanting to say, so the loss of control over land and resources. So being foreign people coming in, they can result in local communities losing control over their land and resources, which can have long-term implications for their livelihoods and well-being.
But they could have bought it before they came in, but now they're complaining because somebody else bought it because now they can't buy it.
You know, we had the land run in Oklahoma, and I didn't get shit.
Because we weren't born.
Because we weren't born.
I got a coworker that his grandparents or great-grandparents bought a shitload of land.
I know who you're talking about.
And they're in the land run.
Yep.
And he's got the bill of sale blown up in his living room.
No shit.
Yeah.
Badass,
Cool
dude.
shit.
Yeah.
Badass.
And they got a lot of land.
Oh, I'm sure they did. During the land run, there's a lot of land.
Take the Louisiana Purchase, apply it to Oklahoma, and that's how much land they have. Biggest man's biggest deals, okay? One of the greatest things. He's a great man, by the way, just in case you guys are wondering.
It's great, man.
He's a great man.
China.
He doesn't like
China.
anything from China.
No
okay?
China.
No China, okay?
Did you know they're having a problem in China where men are turning more into women? As in the features and everything? Like they're having this issue?
Like
No,
a
I didn't-
biological
I did
advancement?
not know
Like
that.
they're all men are the younger generation is becoming more feminine.
I'm gonna drop a bomb. Call me Brad Lee. Okay, I'm gonna drop a bomb. All right, this is Brad Lee talking right now. Weak men create hard times.
Hard times create
Strong men. Mm-hmm. Strong men create easy times.
Yes.
Easy times create weak men.
Yes.
Never-ending cycle.
Yes, it is. So,
which is why you have
also,
to fucking wake up and run every day, motherfucker.
Who's gonna carry the boat?
Who's gonna carry the boats?
So I'm going to tell you. So there's two other things too that are going on in China and in America. Both of them are
fascism,
causing that too.
Little did you know the Nazi Party never actually disappeared. They just brought all their scientists over to the U.S. and recreated recreated that. And they're the ones who created atrazine.
Both.
They're turning the freaking frogs gay.
The birds work for the bourgeoisie.
both China and America are struggling with the death rate.
Both China.
I thought the death rate or the birth rate?
Both. Because right now we got more people dying than we got people popping out.
I don't know. I know a lot of girls from high school that are all pregnant.
Yeah, that is true. But
yeah, but the thing is though is we've had a 10-year cycle to where there's not enough people recreating.
Then they should just pay me more.
But there's a lot of people that should never recreate.
Well, that's true. But
yeah, what's that? I don't want to say your name.
There's people that can recreate that are not recreating because they're like, oh, society. Oh, I couldn't buy land because of a foreign investor. Oh, this union guy. Oh,
I wasn't alive during the land run.
But China is having the same. But China's having the same issue because they put a limit on the kids, and now they're like, oh well, fuck. They fuck up, so now they change it. You can have 2 children now, and instead of having and 2 children, not enough have them because they raised so many children.
I have 2 options to eat from. Do you want the
cuttlefish?
Do you want the cuttlefish, or do you want what is it? What was the asparagus?
Asparagus.
Yeah. Do you want asparagus? Okay, I will eat those asparagus.
Sorry, Tegan.
Oh my God!
China did put a cap on kids. I thought it was only 1.
Well, it was only 1, but so because they've realized that oh shit we fucked up, they've removed it. Like they bumped it to 2, and nobody was like, no, we don't have children. We don't want them because we run risk of going to jail or you killing children. So we don't have children. So now they've imparted that into the society. So now everybody's like, fuck it, we ain't having kids because you're just going to kill one of them anyhow. So what does it matter? And now they open it up and they're like, no, sorry, still can't do it. And they have so many seniors there that's why they're creating robots to take care of the senior citizens because they don't have enough fucking people to take care of the people that are getting old.
They need the cum police to make sure people are getting pregnant.
You wait, hold on. I got something for that. What do you need? What did you say?
The cum police.
Did you know that in America there's a woman who and you can search this up, go to TikTok, check it out, it's all over the place.
Because TikTok is law, it's from China, man.
There's a woman, I think she lives in California.
No.
Which is the American China. But either that or New York. I don't know which one. But
well, no, it can't be New York because New York's full of unions up there. They're union strong. Sorry. I can't help it, okay? It's just there's so much good shit came from that.
So,
any Hooser,
she sued her sperm donor.
About this one.
You saw that? You saw that one? She spooed. She spooed.
The spooge guy.
She spooged. She sued her sperm guy. And you know what happened?
She probably won.
She won.
Holy fuck.
He ended up having to pay like $400 a month in child support for this child that he had no idea about.
Yeah.
Nothing. He just like out of the blue got served and said, hey, you have to pay for that and care for this child now.
Because wasn't he like a sperm donor or something? But it was like...
Yeah, he was a sperm donor.
Yeah, he went
to a spank bank.
Yes! Let's go. We're all children. It's fine.
So he went there, got that taken care of, and
his business.
had those nudie magazines that he was checking out.
He probably took it in the finger in the butt.
I've never been to one, but I've always wondered, like, do they keep fresh material coming in? Do they have like
I have no idea.
Do they have a physical item present that allows you to be able to do that? We should go visit one.
We should do
Live
a
in the
live
Dream takes a
podcast.
field trip to a sperm bank.
All right, we were right at the cum
Holy
depot. Where do we go?
Yeah, we're at the cum depot.
Hey, ma'am,
how
can you
can
tell
I
me?
help you?
Can you
I
tell
know
me
more
what?
than you.
Can you tell me what are my options, ma'am, as far as making a deposit today?
What is the material I can use?
Don't worry,
Is this
my
recent-
deposit will be fast.
Why is this? Why is this from 1970? Like, this bitch has got more bush than's on Josiah's head.
Ooh.
You got a lot of hair. Come on, that was wow. Failed.
That's the
failed
old man
joke.
talking.
Yeah.
I gotta have my shit shaved.
Well, I'm just talking about it in the 70s.
No.
It was the 70s.
Back then, those guys were weird. Those guys were weird.
They're still alive and they're still weird.
And they're still alive and they're still weird. You're like, hey, Grandpa, how you doing? He's like, back when your grandma had bush. He's like, that's why I drink Bush Light. I love Bush.
Well, maybe they had longer dicks back then, so they could weed through the jungle. All right,
because of the atrazine in the water.
This is taking a dive.
Sorry.
So let's sum this up. Foreigners own land in the United States. It sucks. They ruin shit.
I think we should, and I don't know, we haven't researched this, but I think
Fuck
we
research.
should put a fuck.
It's more fun doing it live.
Yeah, steers are the ones that get pregnant, right?
They're the ones you milk, right?
yeah. Go milk a steer out, and they go milk that steer out there. Hey,
Yeah, buy roosters for eggs and a bull for milk, and tell me
You
if
only
genders
got-
matter.
The bull can cross the field in 9. If you can do it in 8, I'll give you a bottle. Crap, what was I going to say? Let
You
me
were talking
take
about
your-
research.
I was talking about research. And I was talking about how we should probably have to research what I was going to talk about before we talk about it. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I was going to say.
You're just stalling till you remember.
You
No.
can't, you
Still
can't see it,
hasn't
but there's a little loading wheel right here in front of his face right now.
No,
Still
I think we
forgot.
need to put something in place where we limit the amount of land that any foreign company, foreign entity can purchase.
Well, but there's not that much that's purchased currently. Like it's like we own 96% of the land.
Sorry,
in the US.
I guess I should redefine that. Not just foreign, because also foreign can start a business here and be a U.S. business, and then the foreign company that
like
owns the
fucking
business.
Toyota did.
The foreign company owns the
Toyota.
business, but the business is U.S. based and owns the land, which is considered U.S. owned.
Foreign-owned companies.
It's all about looking through the looking glass and seeing the different shades and the steps that people use to get around the law, which is the same exact thing I would do if I was making money.
There you go.
All
But
with
hey,
legal purpose.
You know what? Right now,
I sell crack.
holy crap!
Yeah, say that number real quick.
It's 3, 6,
1 billion, 893,801,241.60 acres.
This concludes the contiguous 48 states in the District of Columbia, excluding Alaska and Hawaii.
Oh shit! That doesn't even include Alaska and Hawaii. Wow, there's a billion acres. So out of
Almost 2 billion acres.
so 96%. So let's see if we can do this here.
So how big was the Louisiana purchase?
So if we do this motherfucker, this motherfucker.
It was the single greatest land purchase in the history of the United States. You know why it was the history of the United States? Because if we didn't have the U.S., there wouldn't have been that land to purchase.
And it was cheap.
So anyhow, so let's go ahead. Let's wrap this up. What do we want to? How do we want to?
I'm gonna.
Wrap it up, tie it in a bow, put it on the tree.
Elbow, put it on a tree.
Till next Wednesday.
Till next.
So
Thursday, sorry.
we're gonna wrap it up with a fun fact from Joe Schmo over here. The Louisiana Purchase. We're gonna give you a fun fact if you can't remember. So it was made. It was a significant land acquisition made by the United States in 1803. It involved the purchase of approximately, ready for this number, 820 8,000 square miles of territory from France, doubling the size of the United States at the time.
Oh, wow.
The territory acquired from the Louisiana Purchase included land that now makes up all parts of 15 current U.S. states.
How much was it?
Including Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, and Oklahoma, among others.
Oh. So if it weren't for them, then we wouldn't have no Oklahoma.
Nope.
It was acquired for a total cost of $15 million.
That's
or
it?
3 cents an acre.
God,
Dang.
You know, this is the issue, okay? This is the issue. We should have just gone and lived back then.
we need a time machine.
It's a joke. It's easy. If you're broke, you should have just gone back in time.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
What were you doing?
Oh, I've fucked up. Hold please.
Yeah, I was trying to understand what that was.
Well, it was a failed attempt.
Well, it was almost 800. So you
No,
literally take away the Louisiana Purchase, and it would be roughly just over just 1 billion acres.
Well, but I'm trying to. No, see, that's not what
He's doing 96% of 1,893,801,241.60.
So was that 75,752,000? Oh, sorry, 75,700.
No, it's 75 million.
No, that's 75,752,049 cents.
That kind of so that does really kind of put it into perspective though. It's 75 million acres is owned by foreign investors
Out of almost 2 billion.
out of almost 2 billion.
And if they could just give me 10.
I mean,
You better keep growing their rice and beans so
Hey,
that,
I
so
would
that
be
you can make it in society.
But I want to be my own farmer.
No, can't be.
I'm tired of leasing John Deere's.
you don't even have one.
I know. I have a Yanmar, and it's currently buried in the mud.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna wrap this podcast up.
We're going to wrap it up with a knot in a bow like Santa does on Christmas. We're coming to eat your cookies, drink your milk, and then we're fucking off. This is Sam. I'm Josiah. Thanks to listening to Tegan. This has been Living the Dream. Talk to y'all later. Signing off.
See you next week.
If you're late,
You're lost.
ow!
Auga.